it's Talisha and today I am doing a tack haul. Now I know how much you all love my tack hauls. I mean, I love watching tack hauls too. This is a bit of a collective tack haul because I have not filmed a tack haul since I actually bought Bambi, and I have gotten quite a bit since. Even a saddle, because when I did the tack haul for Bambi, at that stage I did not have a saddle for her. I now do. So I will be including that as well as many other products that I have gotten over the last few months. I always struggle with where to start. Like, do I start at one of the 3 saddle pads, or do I start, oh, I don't know. We're gonna start at a brow band. So the bridle itself is not new. Well, it's newish, but it was in my last tack haul. But this brow band is new. So you guys know how much I love my PS of Sweden brow bands. Jep has one and I had to get Bambi one, and this is actually my favourite brow band that I've been eyeing off for a while and really wanted to get Jep, but I could never get her size in stock, as pony sizes are quite hard to find in PS of Sweden. But obviously now I have a warm blood and her sizes are much easier to find. So this is the Bold Crystal brow band. I love their bold brow bands. Oh, they're just stunning. And the thing I love most about PS of Sweden brow bands, which is a big thing that drew me to them, is the fact that they snap lock on to your bridle. The reason this is such a big thing for me is because when you are swapping brow bands for competitions, for example, I obviously mainly do dressage. I also do a bit of showing. And for showing, you obviously have the really blingy brow bands. I actually do have a custom brow band for showing, which I'll show you a little photo on the screen now, if you can kind of see it in that photo, because I realised I probably should have put it in this tack haul but didn't bring it in. But anyway, I got that custom made, and it also has a snap lock thing like this, so that way you don't have to pull up. Charlie, I told you if you wanted to be sleeping on my bed you couldn't snore. Thank you. So yes, I got that on purpose so then I don't have to pull apart my whole entire bridle when I'm changing for competitions, which I really like. Okay, so the next thing I bought was actually purchased last year. I will take it out of the pack. Now this was originally going to be for Jep, but obviously Jep is not going to be competing anymore, as I have retired her from competitions. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back a couple weeks and I did a video detailing everything about that. But I custom made this Matez saddle pad for competitions. I purposely didn't get it with the Matez logos on it. It is obviously white. Then I've got the sheepskin over the top, so I have it lining where the saddle will go, but I did not do it underneath. And the reason for that is a lot of people don't seem to realise that if you are actually doing a full sheepskin saddle pad or putting a half pad under your saddle, you are changing the fit of your saddle, which some saddles do need. Like for Jep, I have to ride her in a half pad, so a full sheepskin would have been great for her. But Bambi's saddle is perfectly fitted to her, and if I was to do a half pad with sheepskin underneath, it would be changing the fit of her saddle. So that's why I just have the sheepskin on the top, and then I did the black, white and black binding, and it is a Euro fit. The reason I did not get a Matez logo on it is because the plan is to put some of my sponsors' logos on it. For example, we have some TuffRock patches here that will be going on, and I will be also putting Vetsense and any other sponsors that would like to have patches on my saddle pads if they choose to. So that's what this space is going to be for. The next thing I got are a pair of breeches. So these breeches are actually secondhand. They are Spooks and I just love them. I have worn them. They are an older style Spooks, but I just really liked the look of them and thought they were really nice. They are sock bottom too. I love Spooks breeches. I now have 3 pairs, so I got another pair. Okay, so I will go on to my last clothing item and then we'll go on to the rest of the haul stuff. So this item I'm really excited about, and it is a Katmandu Vest. So it is so pretty. It is actually a kid size 12. Yeah. I'm 20 years old and I fit into kid size 12. This is why I'm able to ride ponies. It's really nice though and quite simple. And the reason I got this, because with my sponsorship with Vetsense, they are happy to provide me with clothing when I embroider a logo onto it. So I've been looking for a few things for Vetsense perfectly for ages, and I really wanted like a perfect clothing item, preferably a vest. I love vests and I feel like they can be worn kind of throughout the year. I will be getting a polo as well to get embroidered, but I just feel like these are good all season type things. So I'm going to get the Vetsense logo embroidered along the back here because it's such a simple little vest with not much going on that it would be perfect for that. And the navy really matches their logo and actually perfectly matches the Vetsense caps I have, like to a T. It's so perfect. Kyle was wearing the Vetsense hat when we bought this because Kyle loves their hats. Like, yeah, Vetsense, just so you know, Kyle is absolutely obsessed with you guys and wears your hats everywhere because I have 2 hats. So Kyle's taken one and he wears it everywhere, like literally everywhere. So yeah, I compared it to his hat that he was wearing and it was perfect. And Katmandu is such a great brand. So to keep up with the Vetsense stuff, I will also show you some products that they restocked for me, which are my favorite products of theirs. So it is the Eliminots and the Equi Gloss 5-in-1 spray. And they've sent me 2 of each because I go through these really fast. Okay, let's start with the Equi Gloss 5-in-1 spray. I use this pretty much every time I ride and every time I wash. So after I wash my horses, I will spray them all over with this. I also will use this as a detangler, so if I'm going to brush through their mane and tails, I will spray this in first, as I never ever ever brush a tail, especially without detangler, because if you're a dressage rider or a show rider, you know that tails are everything and you want them as thick and luscious as possible, so you don't want to be pulling out hairs. So I use these sprays so much for that reason. And the Eliminots, if a tail is particularly knotty, I will use this, but the main case that I use this is after every wash. So once their tails are still a bit moist, as well as their manes, I will put this through it and just let it kind of run through. I massage it right into their tail, and if I've done it after a wash, I don't actually brush them that day. But if their tail was dry and like a particularly knotty tail, I will put this in and brush it. But I just love putting this in after washes because the smell of this, I mean the spray as well, they smell amazing, and the feel of the tails and manes after I put this in is ridiculous. It just feels so soft and like silky. I love it. So that's why I use these so much. Okay, to keep up with the sponsors, I will show you what Prohorse gave me. So I have 4 sets of white brushing boots. I'm only going to take out 1 packet because they're exactly the same. I'll just show you 1 boot. So this is what they look like. These are going to be mainly my competition boots for warm-ups. Obviously for dressage you can't actually compete in boots, but for warming up I will be using these. They are so lovely. Really nice strong Velcro with the fleece on the inside. So yeah, I will be trying to keep these as clean as physically possible. So that's why I'm only going to be using these for comps. Yeah, they are really nice. I love them. So yeah, I got a set of 4 for Bambi. Okay, I am going to save the saddle to last, so I will actually talk about one saddle pad set in particular, then I'll go on to my last one. This one, unfortunately, I realised I left in my mum's car. Mum is at work, so I don't have it here with me. And the reason I left it in mum's car is because it's the one I've been using for lessons and for outings lately, because I am obsessed with this set. And it is the brand new PS of Sweden charcoal set. If you can't tell, obviously, from the brow band handle, I mean all of my other PS of Sweden sets, it is probably my favourite saddle pad brand at the moment. You guys know I went through the obsession with Lemieux. I do still really like them, but then I tried PS of Sweden and I was like, I don't know, I think I've found a new favourite. And I have also tried Equestrian Stockholm, but again, my favourite is PS of Sweden. So when I saw this new set come out, I mean, it's not even that new anymore. I think they have new colours coming out pretty soon, but it's still fairly new. I pre-ordered this set because I just loved the grey. I thought it was so classy and sleek, and I just think it matches Bambi really, really nicely. So I bought the boots, saddle pad and bonnet. I don't actually have the bonnet on her in any of these photos, unfortunately. But yes, so I bought the full set. I decided to go for the boots instead of the polos, as boots are so much easier than polos and they're what I use more. So yeah, now I'll go on to another saddle pad set. This is from the brand Equestrian. So you guys actually probably have seen a video on them because I did a sponsored video for them. And this is the champagne coloured set. I love it. It is so sparkly and pretty. They have been used, so they're a bit dirty. Here are the matching boots. Actually, this boot in particular is not that dirty, but I love the shiny material. That boot's dirty. And then here I have the matching bonnet. It is so cute. I love it. Massive thank you for Equestrian for gifting me that set. Now, lucky last, I am going to show you my new saddle. So this saddle, I mean, now is a few months old. What are we in? June? Yeah, so I bought it in like end of January, start of February. But it is actually the first brand new saddle I've ever gotten. So it was really exciting for me because I've only ever had secondhand saddles, which I love. I still love all my saddles, and I'm in no way complaining, but this was just exciting for me because I've never been able to have a brand new saddle. And because when I was going to buy a brand new saddle, I didn't want to just buy an average one. I knew what brands I liked and I know what I wanted. I've tried many saddles and had many secondhand saddles, and I know what brands I like. So, okay, so it's still in the cover, but it is a Jessica Trainers, and I'll take the cover off. I tried a couple saddles on Bambi because my saddle fitter, who I've been using for years, was able to come out and see what she believed would be perfect for Bambi. I was originally looking at the saddle up from this, which was the deluxe, but the deluxe just didn't fit her very well, and my saddle fitter didn't believe it would ever really fit her that well. So I actually went the model down because this one fit her perfectly. Because Bambi is not a massive warm blood, she's quite a small warm blood. The deluxe was made for the bigger, wider, taller kind of warm bloods, where this was perfect for her. And the big thing with the new saddle was that I wanted it to be suitable for showing and dressage, because I was also looking at the PDSs, which I loved, but they just weren't very suitable for both disciplines, because obviously for showing you want a very simple plain saddle, and preferably with no or a small knee block. And a lot of the typical dressage saddles have massive knee blocks, which I've never personally ridden in. I've had slight knee blocks, but nothing massive, and I just wasn't really, I mean, I wasn't used to it, so I was quite happy to stay in a saddle that just had a small knee block. So this is the Jessica Trainers Jessica saddle, I believe it's called. This is what it looks like. I got the 16.5 inch. So it took a while for them to decide what size seat I was going to be in. I've always had a 16.5, but I do have long legs, so they were kind of like borderline, like not too sure. Because I had some people saying I could be a 17 inch, and then some people saying I could be a 16 inch, and then 16.5. But obviously my saddle fitter knows me best. She watches me ride in these saddles, so she believed that the 16.5 was perfect. She did think I could have gone into a 16 inch, but just because of my leg length, that the 16.5 was the way to go. And I'm really happy with this saddle. So unbelievably happy that I picked this saddle. It is so sleek. It's got small knee blocks, which is perfect. Nothing too big, and as she said, and she's a show rider herself, as she said, it would perfectly cross over to both disciplines, and she just believed that the PDSs would not cross over as well. So yeah, I'm so happy with this saddle, and it's just so nice to finally have and it's just so nice to finally have a brand new saddle. And a question I do get quite a lot in videos is about how I have my stirrups. So I actually have stirrups in this saddle, but you can't tell. And the reason is because they're under here. So they've got a stirrup cover on them, obviously, but I have my stirrups under my saddle for a perfectly good reason. I can put them over the top, and people have been asking me how I do this as well. I literally just lift up the saddle flap, slip them through where the skirt of the saddle is, and put them on the little stirrup clip like that. This is actually perfectly legal for EA competitions, so all official events and FEI, you can go right up to Grand Prix dressage and have your stirrups under your saddle flap like this. The only thing this is not legal for is pony club, so I do have to change my stirrups over when I'm doing pony club. But anyway, the reason I do this was actually for what my saddle fitter told me, because she knew that this is my first brand new saddle I've gotten, and she said that a good way to keep your flap free of scuffs is by having your stirrup leathers underneath. And she's the one that told me that it's fine, you can compete in it and you'll have no issues. And that way I'm able to keep this looking newer for longer. As you can see, it's got no scuffs at all on it yet. But if I had my leathers over the top of the saddle, it would get scuffed a lot faster. So that is my tack haul. I hope you enjoyed it. And if there's any videos you'd like to see from me, please comment them below and I'll try to do as many as I can. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a couple days for a vlog. Bye!